We hope you received the treat that we sent, and if you registered after the deadline, we'll send it to you soon. As you can see from this slide, we have a few things in store for you today. We think it will be about an hour until we get to the conversation with your classmates, and we will include a short break so that you can get a drink or just stand up if you'd like. Okay. Today is the winter commencement ceremony at UIC, and our Chancellor, Michael Amiridis, is presiding over the occasion, which means he is unable to join us. However, he sent a very special welcome for all of you.
It is my pleasure to welcome our golden graduates from the class of 1971 to the University of Illinois Chicago's fall commencement ceremonies. As much as I wish we were able to celebrate together in person, we're still mitigating the risks from the pandemic, and this is why I'm making this recorded greeting to you. In 2016, for the first time in the history of the university, we reached a milestone where we were able to welcome back alumni who had graduated 50 years ago, our golden graduates as we call them, to participate in our university-wide fall commencement ceremonies. The class of 1966 was the first official graduating class of the university, then known as the University of Illinois at Chicago Circle. Since 2016, we have had the pleasure of welcoming back our golden graduates every fall to walk in the procession with our newest graduates. And with each year, the number of alumni who have participated increased. Our golden graduates were joined in the procession by our newest graduates, and in doing so, we establish a common thread to connect the past and the future of this great university. On December 10th and 11th, we are hosting our first in-person ceremony since the pandemic began, but have modified the program to provide our students the best possible experience while keeping them, their families, and you as safe as possible. This is why this year I'm recording my message to you, so that you are still recognized as a unique component of our legacy. In 1971, when you graduated, the Circle campus's enrollment had already grown from 5,000 to 18,000. This was the fastest growth at that time in the nation. Today, our enrollment has surpassed the original estimate for our campus's capacity, standing at 34,200 students. This is the result of the current 6-year period of record growth. So you see, history sometimes repeats itself for the better. Your university has become the first choice for the sons and daughters of Chicago's families, but our students also come from across the state, across the country, and across the world. And many of our students are the first in their families to attend college, as was the case 50 years ago. So you see, some things don't change. The University of Illinois Chicago, or UIC as it is now known around the world, has also been undergoing the most extensive improvement of its infrastructure since you were in college. We are adding new facilities for our students to live, learn, study, and socialize with innovative designs that look into the future. We are innovating and adding classrooms and labs that enhance the students' experience and facilitate their success. We're improving and expanding our clinical facilities to support our unique healthcare delivery and healthcare education mission. We're expanding the green areas on campus, creating an urban oasis and making a statement about urban sustainability. And we are rebuilding our digital infrastructure to reflect the needs of today and the needs of tomorrow. You know, I wish I was a student at UIC today, as I'm sure many of you do as well. But I want you to know that as I will be conferring degrees again this December, we will also reflect on the significance and legacy of our golden graduates. You have all been where these graduates are, and you have accomplished a lot. It is my honor to recognize you, class of 1971, and I hope, as things continue to improve, that you will take the opportunity to come visit your university and to embrace your connection to your alma mater. Go UIC and go Flames!
In planning this event, we decided that there is no one better to share a few remarks and reminisce about UIC 50 years ago than a fellow member of the class of 1971. It is my pleasure to introduce Joanne Gambardella-Meyerhoff. Joanne serves on the Awards and Traditions Committee of the UIC Alumni Board and has been working with us since the beginning of our Alumni Association, which launched in 2017. Please welcome Joanne.
Welcome, fellow Golden graduates. It's been 50 years since we graduated from Chicago Circle campus. We showed up not knowing what to expect. What would commuting to school be like? How would we meet people and make friends? Would we feel like we were attending a real college campus? Those questions and more were soon answered. Chicago Circle gave me an excellent education, which led to a very fulfilling career. I made wonderful friends, many of whom I still have, and I met my husband, Jerry Meyerhoff, there. All of this inspired me to stay connected to UIC by getting involved. There were a few groups to join us at first, but as the university grew, it added opportunities. I ultimately served on the College Alumni Advisory Board, and as Wendy said, I am now a member of the newly formed UIC Alumni Association. We have approximately 325,000 alumni, and this gave me an opportunity to give back to the college, which had given so much to me. It has given me a front row seat as I've watched the college evolve, adding the West Campus and changing the name to UIC. It has also allowed me to represent the early graduates to the newer ones and remind people of some of our early happenings. Do you remember our football team? The 1970 homecoming parade down Congress Expressway to Soldiers Field to watch the game, the political speeches in the forum, the storming of the campus after Kent State, and we also had some really amazing professors, Dick Simpson and Robert Remini, to name just two. I encourage you to stay connected to UIC. We have the UIC Connected system that allows you to mentor new graduates as well as current ones. We now have our own alumni board separated from Champaign-Urbana. In January in the UIC magazine will be an opportunity to join different committees for next year. The campus has grown. Come for a visit. It's amazing to see. They took down the second floor walkway, bringing sun to the entire campus. Come to a basketball game and eat at what was the Brown Bottle, now Tuscany. There is also the U of I advocacy events, which ask you to contact your state legislatures to advocate for UIC. And there are free online events that cover a broad range of topics and include experts in the field offered by the UIC Alumni Exchange via Zoom. Of course, donating to the college is always appreciated, but there are so many ways to be involved. If you have not had the chance to participate in any one of those, I urge you to do so and then get reconnected to our wonderful alma mater. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne, for sharing your memories and for all you do for the UIC Alumni Association. I'm sure Joanne's words brought back lots of memories for you all. The 1960s and 70s were full of life-changing events at Circle. The Vietnam War was in its 6th year, and student activism and protests on campus were frequent. Some of you, like Joanne, met your spouse. But what hasn't changed at our university? As our chancellor mentioned, over a third of our student body is still first-generation college students. Our students still work full or part-time jobs, and most commute to campus. And we are Chicago's only public research university, a university to educate and serve the city of Chicago. Now, we'd like to share a little bit about what we understand Circle Campus was like in 1971 and what UIC is like today. In 1970-71, there were 8 colleges of study. Today, UIC has 16 schools and colleges, including 3 Chicago campuses, the West Campus, the East Campus, and with the recent addition of the School of Law, a downtown Loop campus. We also have 3 medical campuses outside of Chicago, Rockford, Peoria, and Urbana. So now we'd like to test your memory a little bit here. Your enrollment in 1970, 1971 was 21,609 students. Chancellor Amiridis mentioned what today's enrollment is at UIC. So we're going to run a poll through Zoom. It'll pop up on your screen, and you select what you think today's enrollment is.
Come on.
Okay. Couple more coming in. Give it one more second and then we'll end it. All right, let's see what everyone thinks. 34,199. Correct. That's today's enrollment as mentioned by the Chancellor. So you may need to close the poll screen on your own computer, just so you know, we can't make that go away. Next one, and the Chancellor did not mention this. Those of us in the Alumni Association are extremely jealous of what your tuition costs 50 years ago, but $480 was roughly it for a year. So we want to do another poll and see what you think tuition is today. Give it one more second. Okay. All right, so everyone thinks, or everyone, a lot of people think 15,538. Let's find out. 15,538 is roughly the cost. It varies a little bit by program, but in general, this is the average cost of tuition. I also put down there current on-campus housing rates. So we do have more dorms now than we probably ever have had before. And depending on which one you live in, it runs roughly between 8,000 and about 14,000 per year. So that's on top of tuition, obviously. Okay, a couple more things. Athletics, we're part of campus life at Circle with a variety of sports for students to participate in or enjoy attending. As Joanne mentioned, the football team, which I wish we still had one. I think that would be fun. Let's see. So let's take a look at some of the key events on campus during your last year. Campus was over-enrolled by 4%. You might remember this because it might have been difficult to get into some of your classes. And you also experienced kind of a unique transition with Circle Campus and the University of Illinois system. Both the chancellor at UIC resigned and the new president of the U of I system took office in September of 1971. A couple other things, the student newspaper, Chicago Illini, was, quote, evicted from the Chicago Circle office. Students for a Democratic Society chapter were kicked off campus by Student Affairs, and heavy budget cuts to UICC led to discussions about the Circle campus withdrawing from the U of I system. That obviously didn't happen, but it's our understanding that it was seriously discussed. There was a proposal for a $75 million stadium for UICC teams in what is the Soldier Field location. And then lastly, and given these times, this is turning out to be extremely important, but Illinois' first fully accredited school of public health was established, and that is a picture of the very first graduating class of students. Okay. Got another poll for you. Who remembers how much a loaf of bread cost in 1971? Give it one more second. Okay. I'll find out. 25 cents. Those of you who picked 25 cents were right on the money. A gallon of milk cost $1.32, and a 6-pack of beer was just over $2. And then one more. Who remembers how much a stamp cost in 1971? Oh, this is close. Okay, should we find out? $0.08 for a stamp. Average cost of a car, $2,700. Average cost of a house, just over $25,000. Couple of key events going on in the country during 1971. The New York Times began publishing sections of the Pentagon Papers. The 26th Amendment lowers the voting age to 18. That was something I learned in researching this presentation. Walt Disney World opened. All in the Family debuted. Intel introduces the microprocessor. Amtrak begins providing service between cities. NPR broadcast for the first time, and new stock market called the NASDAQ debuted. I am certain that there are a lot of other things that happened during that time that are not on this slide. So please feel free to put things in the chat about just anything else that you remember that was specifically going on as you were graduating from Circle. All right, so we have a video for you here. It's from a few years ago. It's not completely updated, but it gives you a nice overview of campus evolution.
The UIC you know today began as an extension of the University of Illinois on what is now one of Chicago's premier tourist destinations, Navy Pier. That was 1946. Following World War II, the University of Illinois sought to increase its presence in Chicago by creating a temporary 2-year branch campus on Navy Pier. The Chicago Undergraduate Tuition, as it was known, was intended primarily to accommodate the influx of returning veterans eager to take advantage of the GI Bill. The lakeside location earned the Navy Pier campus the nickname Harvard on the Rocks. At that time, however, Navy Pier was not the bright, attractive venue we know today as Chicago's leading tourist attraction. The 3,000-foot pier was a dreary, functioning port facility, which the university shared with other tenants, including the Chicago Police Department Traffic Division and several military detachments. After the war, and after the initial wave of returning veterans had passed through, demand for a public university in Chicago remained high. The university made plans to create a permanent degree-granting campus in the Chicago area. The site was a 100-acre parcel at the junction of Greektown and Little Italy. To accommodate a planned student body of 32,000 in such a small area, famed Chicago architect Walter Nesch arrayed the campus buildings in concentric rings, like a droplet of water. The University of Illinois at Chicago Circle, named for the nearby ultra-modern freeway interchange, opened in February 1965.
Our city would be sorely lacking if we did not provide the advantages of a great state university for all of the young people of our city and the nearby area.
Circle, as it was commonly called, was a degree-granting institution with ambitions to become a great university. Within 5 years of the campus's opening, a period during which it was the fastest growing campus in the country, enrollment grew from 5,000 to 18,000, and almost every department began offering graduate degrees befitting the location of the campus at the crossroads of immigration. Many of Circle's students were first in their families to attend college. as are many of UIC's students today. UIC was born in 1982 when the Circle and Medical Center campuses were consolidated to form a comprehensive university with 7 health science colleges, including one of the nation's largest College of Medicine, as well as the College of Pharmacy, which is the oldest academic unit in the University of Illinois system, dating back to 1859. Consolidation helped UIC reach elite Carnegie Research 1 status, and it remains the only public institution in Chicago to be awarded that designation. In 2007, James Stuckel Towers, a 4-tower residential and dining facility, opened and was the capstone of UIC's South Campus development. The South Campus project brought student housing, retail stores, restaurants, and private residences to the historic Maxwell Street neighborhood. The influx of faculty and staff families and the expansion of student housing helped UIC change from a daytime commuter campus into a vibrant 24-hour academic community. In the summer of 2019, 3 major campus projects came to fruition, reflecting UIC's explosive growth in the College of Engineering. The 57,500 square foot UIC Engineering Innovation Building opened, housing chemical and civil and materials engineering students. The new building provides unique learning opportunities, attracts top academic talent, and will help spark innovation and growth in the industry. The unveiling of the 151,000 square foot academic and residential complex located on Harrison Street also occurred in 2019. The campus's first public-private partnership. The new living learning community provides residential accommodations for 550 students, a fitness center, social and study lounges, a Starbucks, as well as 3 large lecture halls, 4 classrooms, several study rooms, and a tutoring center. The university also acquired Chicago's first and only public law school, the UIC John Marshall Law School, after the approval of the Higher Learning Commission as UIC's 16th college. It will continue to operate at its downtown Loop location, expanding UIC's footprint in the city and provide current and prospective law students with more affordable education. Today, the University of Illinois at Chicago is an acclaimed research institution with 16 colleges and over 32,000 students, vital to the educational, technological, and cultural fabric of the region. UIC boasts a community of more than 265,000 alumni. Their hard work, leadership, discovery, and service has a tremendous impact in and around Chicago, as well as across the globe. The UIC Alumni Association works diligently to keep them connected to UIC and each other. As the largest institution of higher education in the Chicago area, UIC is recognized as one of the most ethnically and culturally diverse universities in the country and is devoted to developing leaders that strive to serve others and make a difference locally and globally. This is UIC.
So if you're interested, Joanne mentioned earlier our program, Alumni Exchange. It's the virtual program we created when the pandemic began, and we've actually done 3 programs on various aspects of the history of UIC. And you can find them at gouic.edu/alumni exchange. They're all on YouTube for our previous programs. You can watch these 3 as well as any other programs that we've done. We've done 60 since the pandemic started. So there's quite a variety of topics to look at if you're interested. And you can also always contact the University Archives or just go to their website. They have a lot of resources there, including past yearbooks, as well as a lot of other things. So if you're interested, I encourage you to check it out.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to be celebrating here with you. I'm Emily Ann Walrath, and I am the Associate Director for Student and Recent Alumni Engagement with the UIC Alumni Association. I'm as I mentioned, I'm very excited to be here celebrating with you today. And I'm also excited to share more about some of the enhancements Chancellor Amiridis alluded to in his message to you. And some of the improvements have already been mentioned in the From Peer to Present video, but I'm going to review a couple of those as well to get us started out. So beginning with UIC 2020, or if you will, 2019 and beyond. Oh, excuse me. So the first building that we have is the Engineering Innovation Building, as was mentioned in the From Peer to Present video. It is the first new building on campus in quite some time. It opened in summer 2019. It houses the Chemical Engineering and Civil and Materials Engineering departments, and also has Chicago area's only high bay structural research laboratory, which you can see in the photo here. And that particular space allows engineers and industry professionals to develop and test large and heavy infrastructural equipment. Next, we have the other building that was mentioned, and that is the Academic and Residential Complex, otherwise known as the ARC. It also opened in 2019, and it boasts contemporary living spaces for our students in one wing and state-of-the-art classroom facilities in the other. So you can see one of those classrooms in the photos here on the screen. Also within the building is the only Starbucks on the East Campus, and it's actually managed entirely by UIC students in partnership with the College of Business Administration. So it's a really great opportunity for them to learn about management firsthand. As was mentioned in the video, this is a public-private partnership that's financed by an external organization, the American Campus Communities, and it's the first public-private partnership of its kind in the state of Illinois. So next we have this building. We broke ground on the outpatient surgery center and specialty clinics in August of last year, August 2020, and it was quote unquote topped off with the final beam in May of this year, 2021, and it's expected to open in fall of 2022. The building will be a new home for state-of-the-art care, including outpatient surgery, transplant services, ophthalmology, ear, nose, and throat, head and neck surgery, urology, and gastroenterology. I see a question in the chat of, do they manage the ARC building itself? We have resident assistants that assist with the operations, as well as full-time facility operators. Thank you for that question. All right, so the next building we have is the Computers Design Research and Learning Center. So this is the second engineering building that will, and the groundbreaking for this building was July of this year, and it will be 135,000 square feet and will include 16,000 square feet of classroom space with 35 labs, including a 1,200 square foot robotics lab. So lots of space for our engineering students as that college grows. The College of Business Administration is one of the university's most rapidly growing colleges, and to accommodate the growing student population, a new building is planned to be developed near the UIC Halsted CTA station and Peoria Street Gateway. And the placement of the building is intended to promote the engagement of our campus with the city and the entire business community within the city. Next is the North Quad and a new building at the Stevenson Hall site. This is also the former ComEd substation and will add more open green space for leisure, recreation, and as well as views of the beautiful downtown skyline. The amphitheater during your time at UIC is now the Central Quad and is a popular space for students to gather, much like it likely was during your time on campus. The master plan includes enhancements to this particular area on campus, including a lawn, as you can see from one of the photos. It's currently just concrete, and that will be placed at the center of the space, and hopes for fire pits, and then a wintertime ice rink, so it can really be a year-round experience for the students and be utilized as a gathering space and for fun and socializing. Oops. The next is the Halsted and Roosevelt Road Promenade extension. It will improve campus circulation and establish a transition between Halsted Street and Roosevelt Road that will allow for pedestrian walkways to connect South Campus to the heart of East Campus. So as the video mentioned, there's been a lot of development on the South Campus, and we would like to just create a greater connection, greater feel for it to be one full campus community. Things are going a little too quick for me here. Excuse me. Before I get to that one. So I just shared a few things that are happening on campus, a few plans that we have for the near future. And you can find out more about all of these and more at cppm.uic.edu/master-plan. There's a lot of really wonderful things that are planned for UIC. And like I said, these are just a few of them. Okay. So I skipped ahead a little bit and made my way back, but Joanne also shared a little bit about this before. Our UIC Alumni Association is actually quite new. It launched in 2017, and it operates solely for UIC alumni, so solely for alumni like yourselves. Everything that we do is based on feedback, ideas, opinions of our UIC alumni. And wonderful alumni like Joanne serve on our alumni board, which is comprised of a number of volunteer leaders who advise on and support meaningful engagement on campus and with UIC overall. Prior to 2017, we were part of the larger U of I system, but we thought, who better to serve the UIC community than UIC alumni themselves? So that's when we established the Alumni Association in 2017. And the alumni board is comprised of 6 committees. Those include advocacy, alumni outreach, alumni career services, awards and nominations, which Joanne serves on, and a student and recent alumni engagement, and the leadership committee. We do have a student organization that very graciously recorded a wonderful performance for you. It is Downtown Voices. They are a student-led co-ed a cappella group from the University of Illinois, Chicago. They were founded in 2014 and sing a variety of genres, including pop, theater, rock, just to name a few. Downtown Voices competes in the International Championship of a cappella and performs for various events around the Chicagoland area. Up next, I hope you enjoy the a cappella arrangement of House of the Rising Sun.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many of the girls. And Lord, I know I'm on my God.
I know many of you mentioned this, but yes, we have some very talented students on our campus. Sorry, we're starting again. Yes, so we're really appreciative of them performing and editing everything, that video, and they did that especially for our golden graduates. So I'll be sure to relay any thanks, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts about the performance. This has been mentioned a couple times, but we do hope that you join us for future opportunities, including our alumni exchange program. You can go back to the archives and view past events, but we also hope that you'll join us for these upcoming opportunities. Well, you should be receiving emails about these as well to register. And then we have a volunteer opportunity coming up in April 6th for Impact and Research Day to judge student research. And we're still figuring out some of the details given the pandemic, but we hope to be able to share more information with you about this opportunity in the near future. And finally, thank you to everyone who helped make this program especially wonderful, including Joanne. We've mentioned Joanne a number of times, but she's really been wonderful with including her story. Thank you so much, Joanne, for joining us. And thank you so much to those who were able to share some of your photos, including Georgette and Daryl. We really appreciate it. We hope that you saw those photos in the slideshow that we put together. And then lastly, Leanna Barcelona is our university archivist, and she helped us to pull some of the information from 1971 for us to share with you that was included in this particular presentation. And that concludes our program today. We will leave the Zoom open if you'd like to stay on and introduce yourself, share a favorite memory, and catch up with some of your classmates. We do hope that you will consider doing so. And as was mentioned at the very beginning, this is just part of an extended opportunity for when we plan to host you once again in person when the time allows us to and when the pandemic allows us to. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you had a wonderful time with our presentation and that you'll stick around and chat with one another.